dead, where evil lurks in every shadow and monsters roam the streets. Mankind's only survival rests in the hands of two Welsh warriors, armed with boomsticks, chainsaws, bad language. These beacons of hope will stop at nothing to obliterate deadites, vampires, psychotic nurses. So, hold tight, strap in, and let the professionals take charge. Otherwise, you're in for a rough, blood-soaked night.
I just wanted to use that sound effect.
What sound effect?
Well, you didn't hear it?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Well, you can't... Is that not coming through?
No.
Oh, what if it's coming through live?
Yeah, probably.
It's
The sound's always out anyway when you're listening to external sounds.
Yeah, so basically it's it's just a round of applause. It's so childish. You all right?
I can't see how many people are watching.
I can. It's 7.
Yeah, I know, but where is it, like?
Oh, right at the top, next to broadcast, end broadcast. But I don't think you see it now because you're a guest.
Ah, great! I'm a guest on my own show.
We'll have another faff now. Next time, I'll double check if you're a collaborator. Yeah. Anyways, boring stuff. How's things?
Yeah, not bad. How's your weekend?
Really good. It's weird now being 45 because I just don't go out anymore on a Saturday night. But I did walk down to the cinema yesterday and I watched Wolfman.
I did see your review on Facebook.
Yeah, I won't go into too much detail, and I definitely won't give any spoilers. But in general, it was everything I was hoping it wasn't. Like there was the reviews haven't been.
The big question is, Jenks,
what
was it a January dump movie? Because that's what I was worried about.
Look, there's plenty to like, okay, and you might enjoy it more than I did. I unfortunately, the idea of it being all in one night seemed like a good idea, like this sort of Night of the Living Dead, Evil Dead 2 sort of thing. But with somebody having a transformation, there's not enough time to see the gradual steps. So you might as well have him just change like in American Werewolf in London on the carpet. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I like with The Fly, it's a very gradual thing. So, Judy Garner hasn't got a lot to work with because she's seeing the transformation unfold really quickly. So she's not like, oh, he's sleeping in. Oh, he's being strange. Oh, he's having an outburst. It's all happening within the space of 2 hours. So it's kind of strange. I did enjoy it. There's some cool moments. And I would recommend it because it's only a 90-minute movie. But I'd be very surprised if you disagree with what I'm saying, even if you enjoy it more than I did, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a high chance of that.
Yes. Yeah. But I think you didn't enjoy. I think you were slightly disappointed with Nosferatu. I was a little bit, but I'm not a huge fan of Robert Eggers. Anyway, so I kind of put up with the sort of slow bits because it's not my cup of tea. But this was very forgettable. I wouldn't want to watch it again, and little bit laughable in parts, and not in a good way.
Yeah,
yeah. But
I think I'll be seeing it Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's what it's looking like.
Well, Jordan Moran posted on our Facebook, and he loved it. So
yeah, I did see.
So
we'll see now.
Yeah,
I had a good one this weekend. I'm starting to step things up a little bit now, right? Show my daughter things.
Your 9-year-old daughter.
Yes, and I'm just trying to get her like into more suspenseful movies. No, not too scary for her.
Yeah.
But we watched Arachnophobia last night, which I thought was like a great step because it's really intense. People die in it. And it's I wouldn't say it's any less horrific than Infested. It's just Infested was more violent.
Yes.
But I was like playing into it, like trying to make her a bit more scared because it's good to feel like that. You watch a film, you want to get that excitement of being scared. So we watched that, she loved it, and we just finished watching War of the Worlds, which I think is another like really suspenseful, intense movie. So we're on the right track, Jenks.
So does your daughter, does she have arachnophobia? Is she afraid of spiders?
Not at all, no.
So it's a tough one. Like I said to you before with the Infested, I'm scared of spiders, so I don't know what that film is like if you just don't care about spiders.
Yeah.
Well,
I asked her, I was like, before we watch it, are you scared of spiders? And she went, I'm scared of poisonous ones. I'm like, so no then.
Yeah, that's like saying I got a phobia of murderers. Oh no. Oof. Yeah, it's like our cousin Math, right? He said I got a phobia of sharks. It's like, that's not a phobia. That's just rational fear. It's not like saying I got a phobia of dolphins.
Yeah, I had a mate who had a phobia of bananas, terrified of them. Genuinely, they were sitting on a couch once in the living room, and one of the boys threw a banana at them. You should have seen the reaction. Insane.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I know. Something about bananas.
So maybe he was like abused by a banana when he was a kid or something, and he just bananas.
Yeah, but having a phobia of sharks, it's not a real thing. Everyone's scared of sharks.
Yeah, and the thing is, the only thing I'm afraid of is murderers and spiders. So when I watch something like I don't know, Slither or Snakes on a Plane, I just enjoy it. Like I'm watching Tremors. But it doesn't invoke any fear of, like, I don't care about rats, don't get me wrong, if a snake came in my bed.
I hate rats 10 times more than, I'd feel more uncomfortable watching a movie about rats than I would with spiders.
I think you're more afraid of people with sauce on their face and beans and stuff. Yeah,
that's it, Jenks, that's it. Like.
I think my ultimate phobia actually is I can face a spider when my daughters are around and I got to be a brave daddy. I can face one, but I cannot face wet drain hair.
Yeah.
And I live with 3 women. I'm not the good kind. Yeah. 2 daughters and a wife.
Do you know? For me, it's their tails.
Yeah.
Disgusting. They look like dry worms.
Yeah, I can see where it comes from. It's just spiders. Oh, but you said you watched War of the Worlds. That's quite dark for a 9-year-old, I think, in parts.
Definitely. I remember going to cinema to see when I was 12. It came out when I was 12. I remember my father took me and my brother. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I always do the parents need to know website, and I just have a skim through.
Yeah.
And it's very, very dark in parts, specifically when he's down in the basement with Tim Robbins.
Yes, yeah.
Flipping shovel wielding maniac.
So
there's a few parts now. I was like, oh god.
Oddly enough, that's probably the weakest. Probably the weakest part of the film for me.
No, it's not. Tim Robbins. It's a proper horror film. I know you can't compare to those massive scenes, right? Specifically when they're on the boat, when the boat gets tipped and
it's a great scene.
The floor cracking, it's amazing. But soon as they get down in that basement, it turns into a horror movie, and I love that when they're creeping around and that eyes going through.
Yeah, it's an awesome film, and I gotta say my favorite 2 scenes. I love like start of apocalypse, like a zombie movie when things people start coughing and society starts shutting down. Those are my favorite bits. And this War of the Worlds does it so well when they're looking at the lightning hitting the floor, the ground. But my favorite 2 scenes are the one where they take his car, which is plays like a zombie movie.
Yeah.
And what's the other scene I love? And just the bodies, the visual of the bodies floating down the water.
With his daughters standing on the edge of the water. Yeah,
it's incredible. But yeah, it's a great film. Do you know what irritates me about a certain time when people talk about movies? So it's a very anticlimactic ending to War of the Worlds. And people it is an anticlimactic. Even though I love the film, I'm very aware that it's just, it's over. And people love using the excuse, that's what's like in the original. It's like, and
Yeah,
So
well, the original's anticlimactic as well.
Yeah, but you've got a chance to undo that anticlimactic. You don't have to do it word for word. It's like a bit like, there's something, what's that? There's another film I was talking, somebody was saying about, was it Nosferatu? There's elements like, oh yeah, that's what it's like in the original. It's like, so you're redoing it. You can undo all those things.
I like the idea of it, like these aliens haven't built up an immune system like we have.
Yeah.
If we got chucked on a random planet that had a common cold on it, we'd probably die because our immune system won't be used to it. I like the idea of that, but it's still an anticlimactic ending.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
But let's introduce the show. Let's read some chats and let's get going.
You can't read them your end, can you?
Ever, man. Well, I don't know. Let me check.
I don't think you can. I'll try it. You maybe.
No, I can't click.
Okay, we'll do it next time. Don't worry about it. I've got it covered. Hey, like my Evil Dead. How good's that?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's a shame It's a shame I'm in the way of most of it.
Yeah.
Right,
Move
we've got Wendy, Palfir, Evening, Jenkins and Curtis. I'll pop them up on the screen. And we've got Jordan Moran, Evening all.
Hi, Jord. Hi, Wendy.
Oh, do you know what? This intro thing is cool looking, but it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Style over substance.
We've got our half Australian, half Welsh friend, Reese. Hi, awesome. Reese.
How's it going, buddy? We've got Ben Davies, Evening all. Do you know, I'm going to change this.
Get rid of it.
Get rid of it. 2 seconds.
People are in suspense, man, waiting for the comment to come up. Waiting with bated breath.
Let's keep it simple. Hang on. How do I do it now? 2 seconds. Oh, I got it. Oh, even worse. That's better.
Right, there we are.
There we go. Sorry, guys. This is a brand new bit of software. That's much better. Abigail Palfrey, Evening, guys. We've got Wendy clapping. Encore. Yes, they did hear it. They heard my clapping. I was gutted you can't hear it. I didn't tell you because I wanted you to laugh and go.
No, I can't hear our intro when it's playing.
Oh, that's a shame. Abigail, yes, we can hear the claps. Dawn Keats here. Awesome.
Hey, Dawn.
Evening, guys. Round of applause came on. There's a lot of love for it. Jill, John, I both and all. Hope you've had a great weekend. Thank you, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
You too. Bananas, Ben says.
Don't read every comment, Jenks.
Okay. John Moran, I got a phobia of chainsaw wielding maniacs. There is just something about them that unsettles me.
I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah, what is that? Oh, yeah, I'm the same. What is it?
It's the smell of the petrol it is on the chainsaw. It's that petrol.
Must have been something in our ancestors, cavemen were chased by chainsaws. Abigail, he hates rats and sauce.
I do.
What about a rat covered in sauce?
Well, look at Jordan's comment there.
Do you know, right?
A rat dipping chips into ketchup.
Do you know when you go in? Have you ever watched like I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here? And they come on, they go, "Oh, I'm scared of spiders." It's like, why are you saying that? Why don't you just say you're scared of puppies or something? Oh, I'm scared of chocolate. Oh, it. Ben says, I'm the worst nightmare. I'm a bad mess eater. And I'm a bad mess eater.
Terrible. Always wears white tracksuits as well.
Oh, he beat me to it, Jordan. Top man. We got Reese Wilson. I've got a bit of a phobia of cockroaches. A bit like Epson Pratt in there creeping up on you, a segment in Creepshow. Yes, that's a great scene.
Such a good segment.
Yeah, we've got Davy Deathray. Hey, everyone. Love catching you, my boys on Alive. How's it going, Davy? What?
I love that you just make words up.
What do you
mean?
It
says my boys and you're like, my guys.
Oh, well, Evening, Davy. Guys, if you got to check out Davy's awesome channel. I tell you what, he's got some great live shows lined up. Fair play, yeah. He's the man. Give him a sub. He's the one.
Yes, we've got a live show lined up with Davy.
Wednesday. At
Wednesday.
8 p.m. UK time. Can't wait. And we're talking horror icons. Not quite like tonight, but not far off. Happy Halloween, teen. Hugh Huckridge.
Also the last one. Hiya, Tom, mate. Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Hi, Tom.
Skipped past that one, Jenks.
Sorry.
Evening, Tom, mate. Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Awesome. And then we're the last one, Ben. You have too many fans with big gobs to take that long for each comments to pop up. Yes. Right. So, do you want to introduce what we're doing, Kurt?
Yeah, I thought we would do something a bit different. Look, I don't like it when we've got a strict schedule and we've got loads of things to get through. So I've been enjoying the Q&A style podcast a bit more. Just we can relax, we can talk to everyone in the comments and feed off people in the comments more. So I thought we'd do a nice easy one. Would you survive? And basically we'll talk about one singular horror villain from any slasher movie. And we'll just have a fuck about with it. We'll mess around. We'll talk about that that individual. We've got a few lined up, but chuck some in the comments, guys.
Yeah, we've got the big players like Michael, Freddy, Jason. But yeah, you're right. Unless we go,
it's more of a mess around. Like we're not going to stay strict to it. It's more so we can just have a laugh, have a chat.
Yeah, because last week we didn't really have a schedule. We were just chatting with Maxwell King, and we went over 2 hours.
Yeah.
When we had a schedule, sometimes it's so rigid that we can't like have free flow. So yeah, right then. So we get started then.
Yeah, go on.
So how would we survive against?
Right. So are the rules right? Am I going up against him? So it's me and Michael Myers in a room. I've got to fight him. Or am I just in a movie that Michael Myers is in and I have to survive because I'll just jump in a car and drive away from Haddonfield? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm gone like.
I see what you're saying. It's a tough one. Look, you know how I feel about this dude. He does not scare me that much. He's good at killing women on the teens. He's not supernatural. He's kind of supernatural, but he's not really, is he? They kind of tease it a little bit in the last one. In Halloween Ends, they mention like. So.
I think he's a lot more threatening in the new trilogy. I found him terrifying because of his aggression and how strong he is in them. Now, he seems a lot more unbeatable in the new trilogy and a lot nastier. Specifically, that scene in the garage where the woman's hiding in the toilet and he drops that guy's teeth over the top. That is the most menacing. So the 2018 one, the first one they did of the new trilogy. He stops off at that gas station and there's a girl hiding in the toilet and he's just killed a guy outside and he's got his teeth and he drops the teeth over the top and they all fall on the floor. That has got to be the most sadistic thing anyone's ever done in a horror movie. It's mean-spirited. Now, I wouldn't want to fight that Michael. Now, the original Michael, although I obviously love that movie to bits, he's never scared me. Even when I was a kid, that movie never really scared me as much as some of the other ones did, right? And I didn't find him as threatening. But the new trilogy, there's no way I'm surviving that. If I'm being pitted up against that Michael, there's no chance.
Look, so if you think of the first one now, right? So Jamie Lee Curtis, famously, when she thinks she's killed him, she just drops the knife and has a sit down, okay? Old school movie rules. Now, obviously, if it was me...
Yeah.
I mean, cutting his head off. Yeah, you're not a copycat, you're having it. Yeah.
I wouldn't be using an iron, like... I wouldn't be using an iron. But then again, look at the opening of Halloween Kills when he takes out the full squad of firemen. Now, they're not trained fighters, I know that. But they're quite tough men. They've been through a lot and they can face danger. I know a lot of people hate that scene, considering like how dark and mysterious Michael is in the original, and now he's just taking out a full team of firefighters, like lifting them off the floor. And I don't like my chances against Michael one bit.
So I wish he was kind of supernatural because it's just you feel like. All he really needs is a sniper. You could, if you were getting stalked by him, in general, and he was relentless. You could take him out. You could hire, especially in America, you could hire some kind of sniper to take him out. Job done, and that's the end of it.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of people, they don't know he's coming, Jenks. It's a small suburban town, and he's picking people off one by one. So you don't know you're in trouble until you're dead. And how have you got enough time to find someone online and hire a sniper?
I'm going from Rob Zombie's one where we know where he's coming because we followed him from the asylum. There he is.
What if we phoned one of them, like, just let you know, guys. We're hot on Michael's tail.
Yeah.
He's on his way to Haddonfield.
And you know what? For some reason, he's walking as well. He's not even sneaking.
He hasn't got a driver's license in Rob Zombie's ones.
No, to be honest, right? I've only seen 1 and 2, 6, the remake one, not the remake, the 18 one. And the ends. Yeah. I never saw Kills. I started watching it, got bored, fell asleep.
I haven't seen that many, man. I've seen 1, 2, 3, and then I've seen both Rob Zombies.
Oh, I've seen Rob Zombies.
Resurrection, H2O, and then the new 3. But I think 4, 5, 6, I've never seen. I never fancied them. There's been a few people on the podcast who really recommend part 4 if you can get past the shoddy mask.
Oh, I've seen that shoddy mask. I saw a video where it's showing how bad the mask's got.
But I am going to watch it. Apparently, it's one of the better sequels if you can look past the mask.
Yeah, I think I can't remember what they call it. 4, 5, and 6, they call it a certain trilogy, isn't it?
Well, I think there's 3 timelines. There's 1 to the new trilogy and then 1 to another one. It's confusing.
Yeah. I'm going to read a few comments, Kurt. So Donkey, do you want to read it? Hang on, is it up?
Yeah. Whoa, what's going on?
I had to put it back up because it's the same one for the title, so it's fine.
Dawn Keat, I'd survive against Michael. I'd bat him to death with my to-be-read pile of books. It's massive.
Massive. Awesome.
Oh my God, that's killing me. We've got Reese. If I did manage to get the upper hand on Michael, I certainly wouldn't throw away the freaking knife with Laurie did in the orgy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It is.
They do it all the time, and they're still doing it. We just watched Strangers Part 2, and he puts the shotgun down on the porch and walks away from it. What are you doing?
Which one's that? Is the one we saw?
He accidentally kills the guy who owns the lodge.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting on the step. Bear in mind, they know that there's still danger there because they haven't killed the right person.
Yeah.
And then he puts the shotgun down and walks away from it, and they're just sitting down with their backs to the cabin. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. There's a little bit of that in Wolf, man. There's a couple of moments where they go, what are you doing? Just shut the door. Shut the door, there's a wolf outside.
There's a wolf outside.
You know, you shut the door if there's a nasty dog outside, let alone a werewolf. A nasty pug. Oh God, that's ridiculous.
Yes, we've got Eli Cortez in the chat. What's up, Jenks and Curtis? Thanks for jumping on, pal.
Awesome.
I hope you're good.
We've got Andy makes Star Wars.
Wait, what's happening, Andy? Evening, lads. Off topic. Do any of you like David Lynch films and TV? If so, what films, etc.? For me, some of his stuff is horror, and to another level, genius. R.I.P. I'm gutted. Do you know what, mate? I've never seen one David Lynch movie. It's never been something that's appealed to me. I've watched a few episodes of Twin Peaks. I couldn't get into it. I'd say the only one I fancy is Mulholland Drive, but I haven't seen it yet.
He did do Blue Velvet, didn't he?
Yeah.
I've seen that. And I've seen some of Twin Peaks, the series. I tried to watch the film Fire Walks with Her or something it's called. Very weird. I got to say, David Lynch has some fucking awesome hair.
Yeah. I really respect the guy. He's obviously an author and one of the most recognizable household names in movies. Yeah. Somehow he's become a household name with the films he makes. Yeah. But I just never pushed myself to watch his movies. I tried Twin Peaks, but that's about it.
Yeah. Cheers, Andy. R.I.P. David Lynch.
Yes.
We got Gina. Hi, everybody. Hi, Gina.
Gina.
Oh, sorry. Don't need to read that. And we've got...
especially because they take 10 minutes to come up.
I know. It's ridiculous. It looked so cool earlier when I showed you.
Davey, Michael Myers would totally kick my ass. He's too sneaky and quick. That, and he's got this supernatural quality about him where you just can't kill the guy. Yeah, absolutely, pal. I agree with you. I do not like my chances against him one bit.
Yeah.
Especially if we're talking about Rob Zombie's Michael as well. Whereas Tyler Mane, he's like 8 foot.
Yeah, Tyler Mane's a wrestler, is he?
No, he's just an actor. He played Sabretooth in the original X-Men.
Yes, I know. He's in Deadpool as well, the new one.
Yeah, he's just an actor, I think, as far as I'm aware.
I'm sure he's a wrestler. I could be... I remember Sabretooth being a wrestler. I could be wrong. The Thorn trilogy, I knew it had a title. I've seen that pop up.
Fans call 4, 5, and 6 the Thorn trilogy. Yeah. Not an official title, as there's no Thorn reference in 4. There we are. Nice one, Davey.
Do you know, when I saw H2O in the cinema in 1998, it was the 20th anniversary, and it seems strange now. At the time, 20 years seemed like a long time, like 78 to 98. 20 years now is 2005. It didn't mean anything, does it?
Like, I just watched War of the Worlds 20 years ago.
Yeah, 2005. Yeah, I know. Just
mental.
Like, I know, obviously, we progressed, but I think when your perception, obviously, in the 90s, it felt like the 70s was like black and white days.
Yeah, it's mental.
You know? Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah, I want you to read these. Give me a second. You read that one, Kurt?
John Moran, the man, apparently he'd kill himself if I started talking to him about films. That was a recent mean-spirited comment I received. To be honest.
There we go. Let's do that. Sorry.
Do you know, I've been in places where if there's someone new that's come into the group, they've been warned not to mention films to me, because I'll just corner them, you know. Terrible, Fred. You know, if I know someone likes films, that's it. Like, that's it.
Well, you jump. What do you mean? You just want to talk to them?
Like, yeah. I won't leave them alone because I didn't really grow up with anyone who liked films. Me and you weren't close when I was a kid. We had a 15-year age gap. None of my friends were really into movies. We'd go to cinema to watch Fast and Furious and all those type of films.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have anyone to talk to. So when you're an adult, you kind of gravitate towards people who suit you a bit more.
Yeah.
And if I find someone who likes films, that's it. Like, I'm going for the jugular.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I was lucky enough. I had a few friends who like films, and our uncles. Well, your father, my uncle. And that's what got me into horror. And any time we'd have a chat, it's always about horrors, always about Evil Dead, always about zombies. And it's a strange thing, though, because I just never clicked with Michael. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I do think he's cool. I love his mask. I think his mask looks better now than in later years, in the new trilogy, in Rob Zombie's one.
You'll never beat the original mask. I don't care what anyone says. It's the best Michael has ever looked. In John Carpenter's original. I do love his look in the new trilogy, and I would say before the new trilogy came out, I wouldn't have called myself the biggest fan of the franchise, only because of how weak the later ones were.
Yeah.
But I absolutely love the new trilogy. It's one of my favourite, even if you disconnect it from the first one, if you treat that as a trilogy of movies.
Yeah.
It's one of my favourite trilogies in horror. I go back to it all the time. I just absolutely love that trilogy, specifically Halloween Kills. I think it's a fantastic horror film.
I rewatched H2O maybe last year, and going into, I don't mind. Like I said, I saw it in the cinema and I quite enjoyed it. I like Josh Hartnett. I liked him in. I think he did Faculty the same year. Was it 98?
Maybe,
both?
It was early in his career.
Yeah, 98. Both films came out. I'm almost positive. And I did enjoy it, but I was primed to look out for his CGI mask, because I obviously didn't notice it the first time round. So I was waiting for it. I was like, oh my God. I don't know. I think it must have been in post. There was an issue, so they fixed it in post, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I'd say so. I'd say so. I
John
don't know for certain.
John Moran, same Curtis. It's not my fault. I'm cultured as fuck. So Eli, I just grabbed the Mean One on Blu-ray. Have you seen that one, Curtis? Of course, he doesn't ask me because he knows.
Of course,
he knows.
He knows you too well.
It's about the Killer Grinch. Oh, I have seen that pop up.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. David Howard Thornton plays the Grinch. Obviously, he's Terrifier. He's showing up as a lot of horror characters now. I think maybe they were done by the same studio. I haven't seen it yet, but it's definitely on my list.
Yeah, I did.
That's definitely one I'm not going to show to my daughter. She loves the Grinch.
I did see it pop up, and I just thought it was one of those, like something popped up on my feed, Killer Sofa, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I seen that one.
You got on Blu-ray,
not the film. I've seen the poster.
You've got a tattoo of it, innit? I'd love that. It'd actually be quite a cool tattoo.
Always keeping it classy.
Gene, only thing I don't like about the kills is the penguin scene. Who the hell would believe he was Michael? What you referring to? Is it H2O?
No, Kills is. I'm sure she's referring to Halloween Kills.
Oh, all right. I see. Yeah, you say you love that film, isn't it? It's one of your favorites.
It's my favorite. I absolutely love that film.
Yeah,
it's incredible. Absolutely balls to the wall. Andy makes Star Wars. Halloween Kills is really good. Agree. Says it on the tin, and you get some great kills and callbacks everywhere. Exactly, mate. I just love the absolute carnage of it. It's almost like the end of the world. Everyone in the town is thrown into a panic. Everyone bands together, and I love the whole evil dies tonight. Everyone chanting. And it just feels like a full circle moment. I think Halloween Kills could have and should have been the last one, because obviously it follows directly to 2018 and then Halloween Ends. There's a big time jump.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would have been the perfect ending if they just finished it on Kills or just made Kills the third one.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect.
We said
I love the energy of it as well.
Yeah,
go on.
We said that when we watched Halloween Ends, like the idea of the story was relatively interesting, but to make it the last and not to have Michael much in it, it's just like, no, it's fine if it's a mid one to break it up, but the last needs to be conventional, you know?
Yes, no, 100% agree
very
with you.
Strange.
I don't hate Ends as a horror movie. I don't particularly like it as a Halloween movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfectly fine horror movie.
Yeah. Frank Riker says, just saying hi, gents. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Frank, mate, thanks for jumping on.
Check out his channel, The Slaughtered Lamb with Darren Sands.
Darren.
It's Darren. It is an awesome channel. You need to check it out. And it's a Slaughtered Lamb TSL. Where are we now? So we've got Ben. Mean One is definitely on my list. Oh, I knew it would be on Ben's list.
Just as trashy as me, if not more. Yes. I'll call trash out on it. Ben will think it's actually good.
Yes. Mr. Grims, thanks for jumping on the channel, buddy. Freddy would win, hands down. We're going to go on to Freddy in a sec now. Yes. Definitely. Let's have a look. Shall we mix it up? We've been talking for 35 minutes. Should we change our monster?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Hang on, let me read a couple of these quickly just to get through them. Sorry. Hang on. That was nice, all of it. Everybody's on a chat. Andy definitely should have been the last one. Halloween Ends is good as an individual film. Yeah, totally. Yes. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
I think we just flabbergasted. Like, it's been 45 minutes and we haven't seen Michael Myers. He looks good in it, but then the show, him having a showdown with like a 70-year-old granny, it's not that satisfying.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. You read that one, Kurt?
Davies says, well, if you think about it, Halloween 78 is the first chapter, Halloween 18 is the second, and Kills is the end of that trilogy. Ends, ironically enough, is the anthology follow-up. Yes, I love that, pal. I think that's the best way to look at it.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Good. Davey's got a good head on him. You've got a good head on you, pal. I like that.
Yeah, he has. Read a few of these, Kurt.
Yes. Gina says, I was on about killers in the hospital scene with the little penguin bloke. Yes, I know what you mean, Gina. Obviously, I don't know why people thought that was Michael, that idiot that they chased through the hospital. Castella, hiya Castella, how are you doing, pal? Freddy survives in the dream realm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we'll get on to Freddy now.
Terrordome, love it. Right, shall we move on? So, do you want to move on to Freddy or somebody else?
Yes, let's do Freddy.
Let's do Freddy. So we. So yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Do you know, this one's a lot more complicated than Michael, right? Because you've got a lot more power against Freddy. So when you're fighting Freddy, it's all up to your imagination, right? And what you can muster up when you're in the dream world. Michael is a straight up killer, right? There's no escaping him in the real world. Once he gets hold of you, you're dead, right? Whatever. Yeah. But Freddy, if you're a bit clued up, and if I'm fighting it with the knowledge of the movies that I've seen, we've seen a lot of people go up against Freddy and beat him quite easily.
Yeah.
I think in the dream world you can be just as strong as Freddy if you can control your own dreams. So it's a tough one. If I'm going in completely blind, I don't know what I'm up against. I just fall asleep and I wake up and there's this burnt guy with a claw for a hand chasing me. You're not surviving. But if you're going in with public knowledge of Freddy, I think you could put up a good fight. I took that way too seriously.
I know.
I've been thinking about it.
Right. I totally disagree, okay? In almost every film, in every dream, I do not believe anyone's got any control of, or they've got very little control. He just toys with people all the way through.
What about Tracy's kickboxing? If I had kickboxing as good as her, in part 6, right? If my kickboxing was as on point as her...
It's just like, the guy can manipulate anything. He can put you on a plane. He can turn into a snake monster. He can do whatever he wants. I just think he loves toying with these kids. And if he really wanted to, he could just go, all the best.
No, I don't believe that at all, Jenks.
Well,
I don't believe that
you're
at all.
wrong.
We've seen many times, right? Fear in the eyes of Freddy Krueger. Many times.
Only when they pull him out of the real world, into the real world.
No. Dream Warriors, pal. He gets his ass kicked multiple times.
In all fairness, okay, if you I love that film, but they don't really do much damage.
I'm tougher than Kincaid.
Kincaid.
I know it.
Look, the thing is, right? They don't do much damage, especially the druggy woman and he puts needle fingers. I think she punches him and he just laughs. He's got literally...
No, he was winded for 5 minutes, man. He was off-screen winded.
His lungs didn't follow him into the dream world.
He did, man. He was winded on the floor.
Actually, saying that, I'm sure in number 6, somebody kicks him in the balls. And he was thinking, like, why have I got balls? What the fuck? It's ridiculous.
Why is that still there?
Complaining. They go, excuse me.
All his nerves are burnt away, right? But he's still got gonads.
Yeah, I just think Freddy is like godlike, yeah, in my opinion. The only escape you got is don't live on Elm Street. Live on Elm Street. Thank fuck that Elm Street's got millions of kids living. What if it was just a little cul-de-sac and he's only got and he's like, I'm gonna kill now. Shit.
Well, that's the problem he has in Freddy's Dead, isn't it? He's got no more kids left to kill. Somehow he's stronger than ever. But yeah. we've already spoke about that in our review, which has been released on Wednesday. Little plug there.
Abigail Palfrey says, the problem for you, Curtis, is you would just keep falling asleep. Yes! Yes,
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day fighting.
He'd get bored of me. He wouldn't have any rest.
Yeah.
Freddy needs sleep too.
Do you know the bit in number 6, right? We didn't mention this in our review. But when somebody, so he's doing that video game thing, okay, and he's controlling him, and it was the era of like a Nintendo, so it's
the power glove, like
the other girl jumps into the dream, and then just sneaks around the corner and sees Freddy in like a manager's office playing, like a security office. I'm thinking, this is not how it works. It's not like a room. This is like another dimension. Just like, hey, there he is.
Right, Nonsense. This is my thing, right, Jenks? Nancy beats Freddy, right? Up until the third movie, I am harder than Nancy. I could deck her in a fight.
No, because he pulled him into the real world. She didn't have a chance.
Yeah, well, why can't I do that? Why can't I do that? Yeah, I'm tougher than Nancy, right? Nancy is just a regular teenager, right? She beats Freddy. I can beat Freddy. I'm taking a win on this one.
Look, Jason struggled to beat him, okay, right? So obviously Freddy in the dream world knows Krav Maga and
Krav Maga.
Jiu-Jitsu.
Look, Jason isn't the sharpest tool in the shed, right? Come on, let's be honest. There's nothing to go by.
I don't know, man. He's quite creative with his kills. He's thinking him up like a, I've
Back
done
to
that
the drawing board.
I've done that number 3. Hang on. He's writing them down. Oh, done that. No, I can't do that again.
But if he is writing his kills down, right, and planning them, he's doing it with crayon. He's definitely doing it in crayon.
Right. Whose mask would you rather put on for a day? Michael Myers' is sweaty, horrible mask he's never washed, or Jason's zombie?
Michael's, he's human. I can deal with bad breath, human breath.
Yeah, but there's no way he's taking that off.
Do you know when he's regurgitating in the back of the car in Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah.
That's all going on the mask, Jenks.
Yeah, but at least it's not over your head and it stinks of sweat like a sock.
So you would rather Jason's mask. What about Jason's sack from part 2?
Jason's sack?
His
ball sack.
Oh, Jenks.
I thought you were
Be real here now, right?
Talking about Jason. Use your head.
He's an extra hillbilly in part 2.
I'd rather have the sack because it's looser, therefore more air can get in.
Say looser one more time.
And it's more air can get in, therefore there'll be less sort of sweat on the skin.
Can you just say for me once, Jason's loose sack?
Jason's loose sack. Yeah, I'm telling you.
I'd much rather wear Jason's loose sack over my head.
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's better than a tight rubber mask over his head. I'll take
It's not that tight though, is it? It's loose. It's big. Plenty of breathing space.
He's got to put it over his gob because it goes right down his neck, Michael's does. And it's sweaty.
Jason's got those holes in he.
All right, we're going off topic here now. You're wrong. Reece Wilson, I work a lot of midnight shifts. just to tell Freddie to fuck off, I need sleep. Yeah, honestly, you are such a sleeper. You can fall asleep. Lucky you don't drive because I think you'd be dead by now, probably. Yeah. Like in National Lampoon's Vacation, we sleep in. Yeah. 1 second. Can you can't move these, can you? Or can you?
No, I can't do anything.
Oh, it's just jumping up.
I have no control. I'm just a guest.
If you read a few of these, then Kurt, and I'll put them up.
Gina says, I don't dream, so I'm safe. Yeah, absolutely. There's 2 dubs for Freddy.
Oh, I dream all the time. Terrible.
Yeah, me too. I hardly sleep either. Another good another good thing. Not in real life. I'm in terms of Freddy hunting you. Daniel says the tall man from Phantasm versus Freddy would be interesting. Oh, definitely. Love me some Phantasm. Chucky needs a machete. A mini machete.
He's struggling to hold it. Jesus.
Abby says, would you survive him if he squeezed ketchup all over you straight away? Nope.
Yeah,
but that's what would happen to me, though. If Freddy was haunting me, it would be all ketchup dreams, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Giant bottles of ketchup.
Yeah, if it was me, he would just be dangling wet women's long drain hair in my gob. Yeah, I said, just kill me with your fucking claws, please.
What about tormenting me with a giant map?
Oh.
Fucking Freddy 6.
I know, it's so stupid. That's a normal dream, you know?
So just for context, if anyone hasn't seen Freddy's Dead, there's a scene where one of them falls asleep and he's being drowned by a giant map.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's like the stress level of a regular dream. And you could just last night I had a dream last night. A massive map. Oh, is this funny? Yeah. That's where Tina gets slaughtered. Oh yeah, but I had a map. Oh, horrible. Oof. Yeah.
Paper cuts. Oh, look at that. Biggest paper cut I've ever had.
You reading this?
Gina says, I'd piss Freddy off that much of my comebacks. He'd get sick and fall asleep as I don't shut up. Yeah, you've got to you've got to wind him down. You've got to wear him down, Gina.
I'd like to see Freddy say some quip and fuck it up and go, oh, how's this for a, oh, hang on, let me start again. How's this for a, oh, wet dream. Ah. You just kill him quick. Oh, shut up. Laugh at me.
And throwing spiders all over Jenks. Absolutely.
Yeah. And he knows what's worse about Freddy. He knows. You can't just say I'm scared of puppies. Although I am allergic to dogs, so I probably have an horrible time.
Have you ever heard of Limmy?
Who?
Limmy. He's a Scottish comedian, and he does skits. He had a show for a short while on BBC, and now he's quite popular online. He does his skits online, right? And he does YouTube and stuff. Only relevance to this is there's a segment where he plays this psychic on stage, like, when what's it called? When people from the audience, he says there's a connection, or they're looking for someone who's died.
Yeah.
Or there's one where they say their mother's got a phobia of spiders, and he tells them that she's down there. But he says, right, he said, does she have any phobias? And he goes, well, she didn't like going outside. She was quite agoraphobic. She didn't like going outside. And he goes, yeah, they're making her go outside. Absolutely killed me.
That's brilliant.
They're making her go outside. That's her punishment.
Yeah. Devil
She's down there, and they're making her go outside.
The devil be like, that's it. Oh, fuck's it. Outside. Oh, you got all these like torture devices, drills. Oh, put them down. Fuck's sake.
Just go stand outside.
Yeah. I'd say that. Oh, agoraphobic. Oh, I hate it. Oof. Don Keith says, I wouldn't survive Freddy. I dream every night and sometimes have night terrors. So I definitely not survive. I'm the same. I have
I'm
terrible. I have sleep paralysis on a regular basis. I dream very intensely every night. I wake up knackered because I've just been dreaming. And Freddy would have a field day with me.
Yeah,
Bastard.
yeah. My girlfriend, if I fall asleep on the couch, my girlfriend's too scared to wake me up sometimes, because I'm always having some sort of night terror. And if I do wake up, I'm just startled for 10 minutes like that.
So,
do you know what I mean? It's weird when you come out of it and you don't know where you are.
Do you reckon that, because you grind your teeth really badly, and do you reckon that Freddy be like, oh, Jesus Christ, you know what, stay where you are. That's too much. That's too much. Yeah. Right.
Definitely.
Jill, I'm going to definitely have nightmares of Freddy tonight. Slightly off, no, it's not off topic. I watched an episode of Freddy's Nightmares the other day. It was so shit.
Why did you do that?
Because
no one asked you to, Jen. No one asked you to.
Look, yes, somebody did. I got friends outside this channel, you know. No, nobody asked me. But I stuck an episode on, one with actually Freddy. It wasn't one of those segments where it's nothing to do with Freddy. And it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was so bad.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we had one volume on VHS.
Yeah.
I don't know how many episodes there are. Yeah, I don't know how many episodes there are of Freddy's Nightmares, but we had one volume on VHS. And I can remember being into Freddy and watching this, and I was like, where the hell is Freddy? Like, I had no idea what it was.
I think I saw that with your dad. It's the one with the runner, with Laura Petty's in it.
Yes.
She has a charm. Laura Petty from Point Break's in it. And she can her wishes come true.
Yeah, and there's a doctor's one. There's one set in a doctor's.
No, it's a dentist.
Oh, dentist, there we are.
Yeah, that is actually a Freddy one.
Jenks.
I know, I used to watch it all the time. Yeah, your father had it.
Yeah.
The dentist one was actually a flashback of how they killed him.
Oh, okay.
And the dentist
I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, the dentist led the charge and killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a normal Freddy one, but the wishing one wasn't too bad, but it's jack shit to do with Freddy.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Anyway, what's going on here? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Eli says, that's a good question. Michael's mask would smell like ass. But Jason's mask probably has some diseases we don't know about. 100%. That's the thing. He's a zombie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got some rotting disease going on.
Yeah.
It's breathing ass or catch a disease, like. Do you know what I mean?
What about, okay, whose pants would you put on? Freddy's or Jason's? Underpants for the Americans.
So Jason's or Freddy's?
Well, you got to pick. Not putting them on your face for 10, 30 seconds.
Do you know what? I'll say Freddy looks pretty clean. He looks pretty clean. Apart from his burnt skin, he always looks quite dapper.
Also,
his clothes look well looked after, apart from the scuffs and frills around the cuffs, like.
Yeah, but they were there before he died. Before he died, so they're not worse, are they? You know, they're not degraded. Well, so I think you're right. Look,
Freddy doesn't sweat. I don't think he shits. I don't think he pees. I'm all for. I'd put Fred. In fact, I'd opt to put Freddy's pants on my face. I'd be like, do you know what? What the hell?
Yeah, because when you do the flashback and he's got the family, he looked quite, clean. He had a nice shirt on. He's probably has showers once a day. I forgot what we're talking about now.
You're talking about putting pants on faces, like.
Yeah.
After dark, this is. Twisted Locker After Dark.
Daniel says Freddy would shrink Chucky into the size of an ant. Exactly. He's got godlike powers. There's no... Look, these guys aren't necessarily versus each other, but in the real world, in the movie world, Freddy is a god.
Yeah.
Second. So Eli...
Eli says, which horror icon would you least want to deal with trying to erase your life, and which do you think you can take on? So, it's a tough one. Which one would I want to deal with to erase your life? Chucky. All day. If we're talking about the Mount Rushmore of horror icons, right? If we're only going for like Leatherface, Michael, Jason, Chucky and all those, I'm picking Chucky every day. I reckon. I genuinely think I could take him on and erase him. Least likely, it would look. They can all kill me, so I'd have to go for the one I find the least frightening in terms of me actually seeing them and trying to get away from. I don't know, Jason maybe.
Yeah, I think
he's
so.
a nasty bastard. I don't want to be folded like a sandwich in a bed, like that.
Yeah, the only thing with Jason, like Michael, he's slow, and I'm a pretty fast.
Yeah, but he transports. He's a transporter. He transports off screen.
Do you know, right? When we rewatched? Well, I rewatched Jason 8 a few months ago, right? A few weeks ago, and I had like a Mandela effect, because I always remember when she's on the boat, the girl, and she climbs up the mast of the stairs or whatever it's called, the ladder. I always remember she getting to the top and Jason's there and he's like teleported. And then I rewatched it and he just catches her up too soon, like quicker than he should.
Yeah.
So you could argue that like, oh yeah, just shit continuity or unrealistic.
Yeah.
We got Davey Death Ray. Yeah, Freddy's going to take care of me pretty easily. Yeah. I think so. We probably shouldn't have done Freddy first. Second, he's going to be fucking up everybody. David Death Ray. If you grind your teeth, you've got to get a mouthpiece. I had the issue, and I sleep much better since I got a mouthpiece.
Yeah, I have to. I'm terrible for it every night, like clockwork. I wake up and my teeth are in bits.
Yeah.
I lost half a tooth last year. My tooth was so weakened that I lost half a tooth on a Frutella, which is a soft, chewy sweet if you don't have them in the US. I lost half a tooth on a soft, chewy sweet. Yes, I need a mouthpiece.
I grind sometimes, but when I wear the mouth guard, I bite hard in it as if my brain's thinking, oh, great, I can go to town now. And I wake up with a stiff jaw, terrible.
Yeah.
We're going off topic a bit. Gina says, when I do fall asleep, no one dares wake me as they get punched. So good. Help me anyone in a nightmare, which I never remember. Only nightmare I remember had to do with my mum after she passed away. Oh, yes. Yes, that must have been rough. Yeah, I tell you what, sometimes you have these night dreams and nightmares, and people love having these sort of hidden meanings. Sometimes nightmares just suck. Sometimes they're nonsense. Sometimes they're just horrible for the sake of it.
Sometimes I enjoy them.
Do you know? I get all the stories I come up with. Right, I've never had a dream where it's given me an idea. It's always nonsense.
Yeah. You remember scenes. You can't quite piece together a story from it.
Yeah. I've woken up and gone, oh, such a great idea for a book. And I pitched it to my wife, and she's like, and as I'm pitching it, I'm like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Although that usually happens normally.
Better in your head, like.
Gina, I've heard about that, Davy. It causes health problems. Right. Shall we move on to our next one?
Aye.
Right. So, which one do you want? Now, I think we have to go. Let's go, Jason. Is it?
Yeah, go on then. Let's go, Jason.
Or do you want Chucky? Let's do Chucky to mix it up, because. And that is a shot from The Cult of Chucky. I've never seen it. No interest.
Oh my God, Jenks! It is an absolute pile of shit. So, before we get into actually talking about Chucky, I just want to say, Don Mancini, who obviously wrote Child's Play since the first one, not much of his script was left behind after all the producers and Tom Holland and stuff got hold of it. But the first one he directed was Seed of Chucky, and he's directed everyone after that, and they're all absolutely awful. Someone please take that franchise off Don Mancini. That's all I want to say.
So I heard that, like, Cult of Chucky, and there's another one as well.
Curse.
I thought they were meant to be returned to, like, its roots, like horror.
Not. Curse returns back to its horror roots. But it was meant to be an original new story. Chucky's back to looking like his normal self. He hasn't got the stitched face. But then it's just revealed later on in the film that it is a sequel to Seed of Chucky, and he's covered his scars up. Tiffany's in there, and it just becomes another shit film like Seed. It's ridiculous. Curse is passable. It's an okay film. I've watched it a few times. Cult is absolutely abysmal.
Which one is the one with the disabled boy?
That's Curse.
Right,
that's the one before the last one. Now that one is okay. It's very cheap looking, but it was advertised as a return to form, a return to horror, gone back to its roots. It just ended up being a sequel to Bride and Seed. Yeah. I hate it. Well, I don't hate Curse. I hate Cult. Cult is absolutely abysmal.
Do you know? I don't know why you asked, because I don't even like him. I can't.
Chucky himself, he goes after kids. He sneaks around in the dark. He never faces anyone head on. Obviously, he has his disadvantages. Yeah. Does he have his Tommy Lee strength, or does he have strength of a doll? Who knows? But if I'm in a Child's Play movie, I'm taking him out easy.
I've never liked I like Child's Play, the movie, right? But like I've said before, I just think I'm not afraid of little dolls. Okay, now Megan is tough as nails. She's like the Terminator, but Chucky, I know he targets a kid in the first one. I don't even think I've seen the second one. I've seen the third one.
Second one's my favourite. Now I really like the second one. Jenks, it's a solid franchise. Like Chucky is as iconic as they come. I do love those movies. Up to Bride, I think they're all very solid movies. The third one being the weakest of the original three, I think. Yep. But I've never been scared of Chucky, but they're fun movies.
Yeah, let's be honest. You can fuck up Chucky easy. You can just chop his head off. I mean, if you cut his head off, what are the rules? Because if you cut his head off, he doesn't necessarily die because the spirit's in the toy, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the thing is, the longer he spends inside the body, the more human he becomes. So he starts to bleed and feel pain. So the longer the films go on, the more chance you've got of actually destroying him because he's just becoming human. Whereas the first film, I feel like he's just supernatural. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, what happens if you put him in a microwave then? Does he explode?
Oh, absolutely. But he gets blown up in the first one, and then he gets remanufactured in the second one. He always finds a way to come back. He gets blown up, he gets remanufactured, he gets rebuilt or restitched.
I call bullshit.
They say the longer he's in the body, the more he becomes human, but he still always comes back, as if you could bring a human back. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So Eli Cortez says, I haven't seen Cult of Chucky yet either.
It's embarrassing, Eli. You may enjoy it, pal. But as a fan of the franchise, it's one of the weaker entries. Easily.
It's when I was up your house a few weeks ago, and you got the VHS of Child's Play, and I was saying it's such a obviously Chucky's become this sort of iconic character, but at the time they didn't know, and the cover is so nothing to do with Chucky. It's just like the skyscraper and the Die Hard level sort of.
A lot of my VHS tapes are rebought over the last few years, right? But that Child's Play that you've seen in my living room, that's actually mine from childhood that I've kept safe.
Right.
I remember Christmas morning when I was really young, maybe I was like 7. My auntie had told me about Chucky and Child's Play. She was telling me a story about it. And I was obsessed with it then, but I didn't have any means of watching it. I remember opening that particular VHS tape on Christmas morning. And it went straight in my player. And it's one of those films, Jenks, you watch when you're a kid and that nostalgia stays with you. And I've still got it. I've had that VHS tape for over 25 years.
Yeah. Do you remember when Christmas morning when VHS were around and you'd give it a shake and you're like, oh, yes.
Yeah.
It's a VHS.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's something special, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Can't beat it.
So Gina says, I didn't mind Curse of Chucky or number 3, but the rest, nope. All you need to do is batter it to smithereens.
He gets beat by a woman in a wheelchair, like. Do you know what I mean?
I think I saw Bride of Chucky on video. I rented it from Blockbuster. Not my cup of tea. Way too stupid.
I like Bride a lot.
Yeah, I remember the trailer and everyone was laughing their heads off, and I was just sitting there thinking, "What the fuck is this shit? Absolute shit, idiots."
Oh, the most serious man in the world.
Oh, idiots!
Sitting there, probably watching another shit horror movie with your monocle on and your top hat, sniggering at everyone like
swinging my cane. I reckon people laugh in that trailer and they go shh, and they're like,
yeah.
It hasn't even started yet. I don't care. It stops laughing.
Stop laughing.
Yeah, don't laugh. Don't mind if it's funny. It's not funny. Do you know, right? Off topic. I was in the cinema watching Beetlejuice 2 the other day. Month. And you can't give somebody a row for laughing because they're allowed to laugh if it's meant. Yeah. But no, there's nothing funny in that film. It's a comedic movie, but there's no laugh out loud moments. It's just a black comedy. That's fine. You don't always have to laugh out loud for it to be a comedy. And she was laughing, slapping her leg. Oh, I know after she'd finished laughing, she'd be like this. Oh,
I hate that.
Every time. And I couldn't give her a row. It's like when I want to give my mate a row for breathing through his nose. You can't give somebody a shit for breathing. Go over there. That's the breathing corner. Those are the breathing seats.
There's just a circle of mouth breathers.
Yeah. Oh, my mate's terrible. He goes, I'm like, it's ridiculous. I went. Sorry.
I'm terrible in cinema. Any noise, anything that ruins my experience. I mean, the anxiety I have walking into a cinema, going, please don't be a shit one. It's real, and a lot of times. I'll wait until a movie's been out a week. I'll go to a really early showing or a really late showing, and I'll feel a bit more safe then. And when I walk into a cinema and when the film starts and there's still only 2 people in there, the sigh of relief I do, and someone tells me to shh.
Well, I'll tell you, right? I'm exactly the same. When I walk into a theatre and analysing, like Terminator. You see all like I think a potential chatterbox, all big popcorns, and I'm like, you fucking better not, right? And but do you know what, Kurt? Though I know you're saying like going later when the film's been out, but sometimes you want to go hit the first night because you get the fans going on the first night. Whereas later you get the dregs who are just like, oh, let's go and see this. They don't know much about it. Sometimes.
Hey, you've really thought about this, haven't you?
I do. No, especially with superhero films, because or anything big like a blockbuster, they'll jump. Fans will jump on the first weekend, and the casual people jump in it the following week when you're there. Anyway, so Gina says Curse is Brad's daughter, and I think she's in Curse. Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in Curse and Cult.
Be careful saying Cult now. Cult, not Curse.
Oh, you said Cult again.
Right. I think, look, we have to include Chucky because Curtis put it in the thumbnail.
Yeah, but
but he's not very good.
Yeah, but Jenks, we wouldn't beat any of these guys. So what's the point if we're not going to chuck an easy one in?
Well, that's true. I mean? That's true. I think a grown man could kill Chuck easy. I think you just got to step on his head, kick him like a rugby ball. In fact, I'd enjoy being attacked by Chucky because, you know, if you ever wanted to kick a baby, you get a chance to.
Would you? Yeah. Would you be like oh?
Oh yes.
Like oh.
I mean, you'd have a fright. Like if you're in bed and he just jumped, you'd be like, gee, like you would. Fuck. Yeah, like if like you know, I'm not scared of like you know, ferrets, but if a ferret jumped at me, I'd shit myself. But I'm not scared of a ferret. I don't know why I said ferret.
Are you sure you're not scared of ferrets, Jenks?
I know they are a bit long. They're
a bit long. Sure,
pal? John Moran, I'd give Chucky to my son. He breaks all his toys. Yes, love it. Or loses it. Where's Chucky? Fuck knows. I've lost him somewhere. He's down the side.
That's the thing, innit? Like, Chucky gets given to Andy and he's like really respectful and nice with it. Any kid his age would have destroyed it. He would have been drawn all over, his arm would have been ripped off.
Yeah.
You're not looking after that toy.
No.
More so in the remake, because he's an AI doll, you would look after it, innit? Because it's like a machine and expensive. But if you had a shitty little Chucky rag doll, you destroy it.
I'd like to see a Chucky where he's just like left behind, like, and he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's gone without me. Left him on a picnic like Toy Story 2 or something.
I was just about to say, do you think Chucky's seen Toy Story?
Yeah, he must have.
Yeah. He probably thinks they're all pussies.
Do you know Toy Story? You know, I love the Toy Story films.
Oh, we're not talking about Toy Story.
Just one quick thing.
No.
They are quite like horror films because they're sentient, and it is terrifying to be a toy and to actually be left behind and have all those real emotions. It is horrifying.
I seen a post on Facebook the other day. Someone had said, "What if one of the toys dies and Andy is just playing with a corpse?" And he's like rotting away.
Yeah. Yeah, they're sentient. It's horrifying, really, isn't it? Because they have to go through hell when they're left behind, or they lost their limbs.
Yeah.
They're melted. Gina says, I have a metal baseball bat. Eli, all right, okay. Just for when I'm walking Ziggs in the dark.
Oh, good call. You need that good old metal baseball bat.
I hope Ziggs is a dog. Not your husband. Do you want to read a couple of these? Good.
John says, I was flanked by two pensioners today who both read aloud text on screen from the trailers. What the fuck?
That's mental. That's mental.
That is nightmare fuel, John. Absolute nightmare fuel.
How lucky were we when we don't see a lot of films together because we live a bit away from each other, and we saw Evil Dead Rise together in a massive screen and nobody was there. It was just meant to be, wasn't it? It was incredible.
Yeah, I was chuffed because it was only us two in there, but at the same time, I was a bit worried for the film because we watched it early in Cardiff Centre where, you know, no, we watched it in Caerphilly.
Yeah.
I thought, this is worrying that people haven't come out to see it. But it did well, obviously.
Oh, it did massively well. One of the biggest horror films.
You know, I walk in sometimes, and if it's a sold-out cinema, like I did with Terrifier 3, absolutely packed. I was chuffed for the filmmakers and the film itself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for my own selfish purposes, I'm like, for fuck's sake.
Yes, you need a private Curtis screening, don't you?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I think I would love, if I was rich, I would open my own cinema and have strict policies where they have inner trapdoors of people talking, where they just go down into a pit, or or you can just drop acid from above. I mean, somebody sitting next to them might have a bit of splashback, but in general,
do you know how much noise that would make, Jenks? If you dropped acid on someone, do you know how much noise they would make?
Yeah, but everyone be clapping because they know where that. I'd take a bit of noise because that guy's gone. Or I'd be a bit like Austin Powers. He's like, I'm still alive. I'm melting. 90 minutes of like,
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Hugh Hackridge says, just lock him in a cupboard. Job done. Yes.
Yeah, he's not getting out, is he?
He's not.
But unless he's got a grown man strength. Like Ant-Man, when he transforms into an ant, he's still got his like full body strength, you know?
Yeah, but ants are, famously really strong. Dolls aren't. Where's he getting the muscle power from? It's all spirit,
Yeah. Dolls can't hold 10 times their weight.
No. He's just a scary thing and he can hold objects, really, isn't he? That's pretty much it. Yeah,
that's it. Like, and look, he's always going up against kids. So that's it, like, and that's why, like, why would you want the body of a kid? Because he can't tie a full grown man down. Yeah,
I know. He's better off getting like a old person or something. If he wants somebody vulnerable, just at least they're fully grown.
Yeah.
So Jordan Moran says, Chucky asking to be regifted or given to a charity shop for some respite.
Respite.
He's like, Jesus, fuck's sake. Ridiculous. No one buys him as well. Oh, come on. I talk. No batteries as well. Save you a bomb.
Eli says, have you seen Cockneys versus Zombies? There's a great baby kicking scene. I have seen Cockneys versus Zombies. But I loved it when it came out. I had a proper good laugh with that one. I remember watching it and then buying it on DVD. I haven't seen it in years though. I think I might have said it was better than Shaun of the Dead when it came out.
I've actually seen this film. It's got Bricktop from Snatch. I tell you what's really good in it. It's not a very good film. It's not the worst film, but the fact that the guy's got a metal plate on his head, and then when he turns into a zombie, they can't shoot him. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
He's bouncing off.
I remember the baby kicking scene. Great.
Yeah, I think all films should have at least one baby kicking scene,
The best baby scene of all time is in Dead Snow 2, when they're running away from the tank and there's a woman pushing a pram and they shoot the woman in the pram and the baby flies towards the screen. The noise it makes.
Yeah, because I think there's something funny about it, like attacking grannies and in Brain Dead, obviously, when they throw the what's it called? Cecil, is it, baby? What? No. What's the baby? Selwyn. Jordan.
Yeah, when he takes him to the park.
Yeah. I love stuff like that. It's funny. Jordan Moran says the ventriloquist dummies in Toy Story 4. Yes, it is number 4. And Nightmare Fuel. It's a shame about number 4 because it's a really good film, but I kind of said goodbye to the franchise in number 3, and it's like, it reminds me of like, if you built the perfect house of cards and you celebrated and someone came along and put one more on, it didn't topple, be like, oh, thanks, extra one. Doesn't mean anything. Pointless. So the movie pauses once the trapdoor opens. What? I don't get it.
Well, Jenks, he's on about what you said about having a trapdoor in cinema, and I said about them making a noise.
Yeah, it would be. Honestly, I'd love to have my own console in my seat. Like if I pay, you get premier seats. I could pay extra for a console. I can see all the seat numbers, and I could just press a button and just destroy somebody talking, even if it's an old granny. Right. Shall we move on? It's my God, we've been talking long with this.
Yeah, I know.
That way you don't hear the acid or the screaming. Right.
Nothing ruins my film.
So I think we probably skip one of them. So should we do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. We'll do one more.
I'll skip the one I wanted to do. I think we're going to have to do this guy. But I think it's too, you can't leave Jason out. I think we're going on too long. Be here all night. Right, Jason Voorhees. What do you think?
Yeah, no chance. No chance in hell is anyone surviving Jason Voorhees. Unkillable, unbeatable, and one of the most creative killers in horror history. Oh my God, the array of kills he has, the weapons he's used, how inventive he is with the kills. There's no chance in hell anyone has got a chance up against this guy.
Yeah.
He's varied in sizes. I think some Jasons would be more beatable than others. I think if you're catching Jason early in the career, maybe part 3's quite small in that one and quite human. I think if you had a weapon, you could go up against him. But look, if we're getting into zombie territory and we're looking at Jason from 6, 7, 8, there's no chance in hell. That scene in part 8 where he's boxing him on top of that building and then he just punches him and knocks his head off. This is what you're going up against. By the time Jason's become a full-on zombie, somehow he's got stronger as his body's decayed more.
Well, yeah, and bigger.
His whole spine is out in part 7.
Yeah, it doesn't matter though. But how do you get how'd you get beefier from like almost a skeleton in number 6 to like number 7? You're absolutely stacked.
Yeah,
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what gym he's been to, but it is crazy.
Yeah, I think if you catch Jason early on in the career, maybe the first one, Jenks, he's just a little nipper.
Well, as in the end of the first one.
Yeah, just a little nipper. I reckon you could fight him with your bare hands.
Can I just take out Pamela, and just be done?
No, this isn't Pamela, boy.
Can I just but can I just beat her up and go, that counts, surely?
Pamela and her hairy hands when she gets her head chopped off.
I can't remember.
She's got hairy man hands.
So, right. So if I get in there early, can I take out Jason Kidd and then be done with it? And it cancels all the other stuff out.
This is what I'm saying. Like, what Jason are we going up against? If you catch him early on.
I'm going to go headlock the kid and go, yeah, what are you going to do? Yeah.
Nuggy his bald head. Oh,
yeah.
Chinese burn on top of his head, like.
So yes, I would say 1 second. So Gina says Jason is simple. You just don't go near him.
Yeah, but you could say that about most of them, innit? I think Jason's the best at catching up with people as well.
He didn't even run.
He's got some sort of teleportation. I'm telling you, he's got some sort of device that helps him teleport. He's got to. I
think so. I think you're right. I think it's called 80s bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, for me, so if I go through each film now, right? Because Jason, unlike Freddy's relatively consistent. Michael's kind of consistent. Chucky's consistent. But with Jason, without a doubt, he's the most inconsistent killer ever, isn't he? And
yes. Yeah.
So let's forget about number 1, obviously. So number 2, he's just got a sack on his head. All you got to do to beat that is just twist the sack around, and he's like, "Where the fuck have you gone?"
So he got one eye hole in him.
Yeah, they just move it slightly, you bastards. Hey, cop at Jason.
What I would do, right, in part 2 is I'm not putting Pamela Voorhees' sweater on. I'm gonna pick up her decaying head and shunt it out the window. He'll go running.
Yeah.
After his mother's head. I'm shunting that head out the window.
Do you read this one, Kurt?
Jordan says, I used to have nightmares about Jason that often that it stopped being scary. We both know that isn't real. Why don't we go for some hot dogs and beers? That's it, isn't it?
So yeah, number 2, I'd say twist his mask. He's probably the least threatening in number 2. I'd say he looks quite young. He's quite small. He's got a stupid sack. Just got to move it slightly. You can't see. I would take that one. Number 3, he's far better. The kills are more intense, and he's got the hockey mask.
He's still quite small in 3, though, isn't he?
but he's got the better mask. You know, you could twist it, but it's more solid on his face than a sack.
Jenks, that's not the only way you can kill Jason. How twistable is friggin' mask is?
Well, I'm telling you.
Wait, what about Jason Goes to Hell then, where his mask is like infused into his skin? Or you can't kill him now just because you can't turn his mask?
Look, should we not count number 9 on this?
Yeah,
because his soul's going into people and stuff. Shit. Let's just talk about Jason as Jason.
Yeah, can we? Yeah, what I'm saying is, regardless of how twistable his mask is, I think Jason Part 3 is the last chance you've got of beating him, because in Part 4, ultra aggressive, ultra nasty, jumping through windows. Not a zombie yet, but I think Part 4 is probably the meanest he's been and the most aggressive. I think Part 3 is the last chance you've got of beating him.
I gotta say, he's pretty fucking horrible in the remake. He's fast as well in that one, and a heavy boot when he's running.
I haven't seen it in over 10 years.
You should rewatch it, man.
I will. It's just Arrow Video have just released it on. I don't know if it's done 4K or Blu-ray, but yeah, I need to watch it.
I've noticed there's a resurgence in love for it. I think at the time people hated it because they mashed up multiple movies in one. But rewatching it, the kills are good. Jason's good. He looks great. He's fucking nails, and he's just chasing. He's not super fast, but he runs when he needs to in these bursts to grab you.
Yeah,
really aggressive.
My thing is that growing up, I'd say Evil Dead and Friday the 13th I was obsessed with them. Right, they were like my babies, and I was they're franchises that I'm very precious about. Now, I'm someone who can just enjoy a film. I usually go into a film and I'll always find something that I like. Yeah, but Jason, I've always been very precious about. I hated Jason Goes to Hell because, you know, he's transported into other people's bodies, Jason X and so on, right? And I had the same with the remake. I just thought it wasn't the originals. I didn't like what they did with him and how everything changed. I didn't like that he had this underground tunnel. I just couldn't picture Jason digging a tunnel. And but that was me being precious about Jason when it came out.
Yeah,
I do need to go in and watch it again because, do you know, since we've been doing this podcast, I haven't heard one person who's come in our comments and say that they don't like the remake. Yeah. I thought it was universally hated.
I think what it is that, unlike Evil Dead, I know you love the Friday 13th, but in general, they are a mixed bag.
No, they're not.
They are a mixed bag.
They're not.
Man, for Christ's sake.
All right. 1 to 6, fantastic, right? Great.
Number 5 is not fantastic.
Yeah, but Jenks, apart from the twist, it not being Jason, it's not a bad Friday the 13th movie, right? I don't particularly like 5 just because of that, but overall, it's not a bad film. What I'm saying is, up until 6, up until 7, it's a very solid franchise, right? 7 drops off a little bit, gets a bit cheesy, gets a bit out there with the powers and shit, and then it slowly starts to drop off. It's far from a mixed bag, Jenks.
Bollocks.
Look at Hellraiser, right? Look at Hellraiser. look at
that's
Candyman.
Not.
No, what I'm saying is, Jenks, it's not a mixed bag, right?
Hellraiser. That's not fair.
It is fair, right? It is fair.
No one's bringing up Hellraiser.
Friday the 13th is a very well looked after franchise. There's always a lot of love gone into the films. You've always got the right people making them, and they've always tried to make good Friday the 13th movies. Look at Hellraiser, Candyman. I could name multiple other horror franchises.
Yeah, I know, but I do still think it's a mixed bag, and I think it's a mixed bag because the law keeps changing. I think with Friday the 13th and Jason, I do like Jason, but I'm not as precious as you are. But with Freddy, I'm more precious. That's why I get more frustrated when it's not consistent with the rules of the dreams and his powers and shit like that.
Yeah, but we're talking about the films as they are, not about the law and what they change. Yeah. Like, you can change the law in a movie, but is it still a good film? Yes, it's still well made. The kills are great. If we're talking about just straight up films, forget changing the story and changing the law of things. I'm talking about straight up. Friday the 13th is one of the most consistent horror franchises out there. It's got the best amount of good movies, I think.
So Reese Wilson, I was camping over Christmas. The sleeping bag kill crossed my mind once more than when I was sleeping at night. I'll be a goner. Do you know what? That is probably one of my favorite Jason kills ever. And I love
100%.
And even though Jason X is a bit shit, I love the way they recreate that in the simulation, because that is
I love it
amazing.
when you say Jason X is shit, just because of all that crap you give me early on.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'll stand corrected. I did have fond memory. I saw it in the cinema, see, and I think I went into it thinking, oh, it might be shit, and I quite enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
it is a bit sci-fi. So you got Jordan. Pamela was almost taken out by a ball of twine in the original. You could really beat the living shit out of her. Exactly. Go to the source, Pamela, and your job's done. Yeah. Do you read this?
Gina says, I lived in a tent for a month, Reese. I slept through a storm while my friend was holding on to the side of the tent. I'd pass in my sleep. Yeah.
My God, fair play. Yeah, Tense and Jason don't go together very well.
Yeah, no chance.
There is when I rewatched number 9, there's a great tent kill in that. Putting aside the silliness of the film, he's not in it. That tent kill is awesome. When he just splits that person. Oh my God, it's brilliant. Tents are quite scary because you're so vulnerable. It's a piece of fabric.
Yeah. And you're usually in a place that's got a lot of ground around you. I hate tents. I'm not a big camper.
It's just fabric. You're in the middle of nowhere, and there's no escape. There's no other way out. Gina says, "I'm probably scarier than Jason though when I'm pissed off. So who knows?" Yeah, Jason's pretty nails. Do you read this one, Kurt?
Davey, I think Chucky is the only one of these guys that I could beat. Jason is a tough brute, and let's not even talk about when he gets teleportation powers. Yeah, exactly. I don't like my odds against Jason whatsoever. Like I said, I threw Chucky in because, look, I could hardly beat a regular person, let alone Jason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Jason, the most badass Jason's been, in my opinion, is 7. He looks badass. His kills are badass, and you see his buzzing zombie face. That is my favorite Jason moment, apart from the actual movie. He's fucking brilliant. Kane Hodder's first performance, he fucking nailed it. So good.
Yeah, it's that breathing he done. I think that's that's what sold them like. And I think that's why he kept coming back.
Yeah, and as much as I like his mask in number 8, but I kind of wish that his mask didn't get destroyed in number 7. He kept that sort of broken one that was been underwater for months or whatever, and just kept getting worse per film rather than having a fresh one.
Yeah,
It's
100%.
Awesome. Do you know, I read that now from a distance. I thought I said, "Shut up, Davey." But I said straight up, Davey. I thought, "Hey, what's going on here?" Do you want to read this one, Kurt?
Reese says, it's just a conversation.
Conversation, Paul. Yeah, the remake is great, says Eli Cortez. Yeah, I think you need to give it another watch, Kurt.
I do. Do you know what? What's it on? Because I don't own it.
Arrow released it on 4K.
Yeah, but is it on streaming?
Possibly.
Yes. It's on Paramount Plus. I will watch it tonight. That's my goal.
Oh, is it on Paramount? Oh, it's a Paramount Plus, yeah. Andy makes Star Wars remake. Surprised me massively of Jason, yeah.
Oh, I'm genuinely looking forward to it. It's maybe been longer than 10 years, guys.
Yeah, Andy says Jason X could be on the Andromeda TV show. Even had the cast. Yeah, very much. There are some funny moments in it, but yeah.
The corkscrew death. I like that.
Yeah, and I like the line, he just forgot his machete. That's a great line.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That guy looks like Captain Kirk. Eli says the Freddy remake is trash.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what, though? I saw that years ago and I didn't like it. I haven't seen it since, so I might jump on it again. I'm sure it's on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it is. I haven't seen it since it came out, to be honest.
Yeah. So, not that we're pitting them against each other, but who would win in a fight? All of these guys. I think it's got to be
Jason.
No, it's not. It's got to be Freddy. He's too powerful. He's godlike. Forget about the movie when they're fighting each other.
No, because we've literally had the movie Freddy vs. Jason, and Jason comes out on top.
No. In the general, the rules of Freddy, he's like a god. Well, he's only weak when he's in the real world, and that's only in a couple of films. In his pure powers, nothing can beat Freddy.
Well, if we're talking about keeping it real to the films, then there's no way Jason would be sleeping and dreaming. Simple as that.
How do you know?
They would never fight. Can you imagine Jason laying down on a bed snoring?
Grinding his teeth.
Grinding his 2 teeth.
Do you reckon? And he waking up in a movie nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, hell of a nightmare. What are you having a nightmare about? Oh, I lost my mask. Oh, it's horrible. Everyone can see my horrible face.
I don't think they could end up fighting, to be fair. Why would they? I don't know. But Jason all day. Jason.
Yes.
I think we count Freddy out because he's in the dream world. He's useless.
Oh, you're being mean now.
What can he do in the dream world?
You're being mean to Freddy. He's awesome.
I love Freddy. I love Nightmare on Elm Street.
I'm gonna give the remake another watch. Freddy's remake. I think if you go into it not comparing him to Robert Englund, because the guy, I forget his name, Earl something, forget his name. He's from Watchmen. He's a really good actor. He's a great actor. Jackie, that's it. Yeah, triple barrel names. A pain in the ass in Hollywood, isn't he? Eli says
he played Rorschach.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, so good.
That line in Watchmen when he says, "You forget something." Yeah, you're the one locked. That that was only written for the film. I looked at the comic.
So good.
Jason in a robe just watching the game with a pipe. Do you know somebody's written or made a fan film where it's called like Jason in the winter months? So what does he do in all that time? And he's just like mundane day to day because there's no teens. It's a brilliant idea. Same as Fred. He's like, what does he do when there's no teens to kill? He's like,
yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah. John Moran, Jason trying to sleep while camping, but shitting himself. But who goes out in the woods? Yeah. Right. Do you want? Are you ready to go, kid? Are you going to wrap it up? We're doing for an hour and a half.
Yeah, let's wrap it up, Jenks.
Right. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. That was good fun. A good call.
I enjoyed
that was good. Yeah, I think you're right. These sort of things.
That's what I mean. Like we went off script. Well, there's no script, but you can just go off and talk about whatever you want to. I thought it would just be good to have some sort of structure. And just talk about what we want to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, you're right. I think this is good. And like you said, we could have had 20 loaded up, but we only have to talk about, whatever we want. And if it's the time is going on, we can leave a few out. Oh, look, it's jumped on. Wolfman got nads, great stuff. You got to check.
Top man, Wolfman. Thank you, pal.
Check out Barry's channel. Wolfman's got nads. He's killing it at the moment. He's releasing a video like two a day. He's working his balls off. His nads off.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
one a week's enough for me.
It's hard going. Fair play. Good night, both of you. Entertaining podcast. Oh, thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Barry. You're a top man. Loving your stuff. Check his channel out. He's nailing it. He's got 102,000 subscribers. He's killing it. I'm jealous. Thank you. Fantastic podcast. Thank you very much, Jill.
Thank you, Jill.
Right. We won't be here next Sunday. I'm away. But we were. Do you want to say about what we do on Wednesday?
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing a live next Sunday. Jenks is away and I'm moving house. But we are on Davey Deathray's channel on Wednesday at 8 p.m. I know everyone in the chat knows who Davey Deathray is. We're going to be on his channel on Wednesday talking about horror icons and the lasting impact. I'm sure that's it. So if you guys want to catch us on there on Wednesday, I know a lot of you in the chat would have already been on there anyway. But that is the next time you can see us, and then we'll be back like normal the Sunday after. Yeah. And we're planning a Shaun of the Dead watch party. So we spoke a few weeks ago about bringing in a Wednesday live, so we're going to do a live on a Wednesday and a live on a Sunday. We haven't got the details yet of what Wednesday we're starting on, but we're going to do a Shaun of the Dead watch party. Just a nice little warm-up on a Wednesday. Chuck Shaun of the Dead on and we can have a good chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone for jumping on. You, like always, you've been great and we appreciate you giving us your time on this lovely Sunday night. But again, thank you all, guys. It's the same people every Sunday. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, and if you're on Facebook, jump onto our channel, on our membership. You can join the group. And we've also got memberships. Check out the description. We've got 2 tiers, 99 pence and 4.99. And if you love horror, please subscribe. Tell your friends about our channel. And we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.